Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you guys here with us today. Hey, I wanted to share with you something that we do outside of Sundays, and that is worship team nights. Worship team lunches, afternoons, breakfasts. I don't know what time you normally do these things, but I want to share with you just a little bit about what I've done recently with our most recent worship team gathering. Some things that worked, didn't work, and hopefully they'll help you as you're planning your next event with your team. Share something valuable. Chances are that your team knows you pretty well on a Sunday context. You know, they know what to expect from rehearsal. They know your expectations for music and for the worship time, but do they know what you're thinking about for the next few months? The new songs you're trying to introduce, maybe new tech that you're hoping to launch in the ministry, just things you're thinking about on a personal level. Chances are you don't really get to talk about that kind of stuff on a Sunday, just with the time restraints, with rehearsal and services. But at a worship team gathering, especially in the evening around food, you have such a great opportunity to share your heart in this kind of more cozy, welcoming environment. And this is so special for your team to be able to get an inside look into what you're thinking and feeling for this next season of the ministry. There's a whole lot of stuff that I could have shared at our most recent team night, but I wanted to share a little bit about some new tech that we're trying to introduce, tracks and clicks and guides and all that good computer stuff. And I wanted to do this on this night because I believe that introducing something as big as almost like a new team member, a new infrastructure for songs, just can't be launched on a Sunday. It can't just be launched during a rehearsal. You gotta have some time to be able to field questions and to give demonstrations and to help people work through what it looks like for them and their practice flow. So at this most recent team night, I just took some time just to share with the team why we're introducing tracks and guides, what this is gonna add to the band, why I've decided to lead us in this direction. And it provided to be really helpful, I think, for our team and even just for me personally, learning how to communicate this new technology. So whatever you can do to make it special and to share something significant during this team night, I encourage you, do that thing. Prepare a demonstration. Most of us learn through experience. I know I do. And being able to share a new concept, a new vision is helpful and all. But if you can demo it in some way, that's even more helpful. I mean, whether you're sharing a new idea and you need to get like a whiteboard out, maybe you want to host an interview of some kind, show a video, or do a live musical kind of demo, whatever it is that can help your communication just get that much deeper into people's hearts and into their minds, man, it can be really valuable during these team nights. For our last team night, like I said, I was trying to introduce this concept of tracks and guides. And so I brought with me an amp, and one of my band members brought their computer with the Ableton tracks. And once I started to talk about this new tech, I was like, hey, let me just show you what it's gonna sound like and look like on a Sunday morning. So we started the Ableton track, I grabbed my guitar, we pushed it through the amp, and just live, I was just playing to this metronome, guide, and all the stems in the song. And I kind of stumbled through it. It was just kind of a funny, awkward way to show people like what it's gonna sound like on a Sunday. But it got the point across. They got to hear what it sounds like, understand what it would be like. And rather than just talking about it, I got to show it to them. And that's the big thing. If you can just show your people what this new vision is, this new concept is, I think just that much more it'll be accepted by your team members. So think through how you can demo it. Connect people together. I've learned that in my leadership, one of the best things I can do to build trust and intimacy in our team is to just not say anything at all and let the band talk with themselves. There's so much that happens as we get to talk and connect and share experiences with one another. And at a team night, there's just this great environment where there's no time structure, there's no rush, no service that's about to happen. You just have some food, you have some tables, and you have some people. And they can just talk and fellowship in a way that you just can't really do on a Sunday. So whatever you can, do to get people talking, do it. At our most recent team night, we played a game called What's on Your Phone? And I asked everybody 3 questions. One was, what's a special photo on your phone that you can share with the people closest to you? Number 2 was, what's your favorite emoji or most used emoji in your text thread? And 3 was, what's the most recent thing that you have playing on your music app, or maybe your most favorite band right now? And I gotta tell you, it was hard to break up the conversations as people were talking about these different things. I launched a question, they started talking, I started hearing laughing and banter, and it was just amazing to see this team connecting in a way that I never get to really see them connect in on a Sunday. So whatever you can do during these team nights to get people talking and relating to one another, that's just the best. So make sure, even add a game or some kind of activity. It might sound cheesy, but it works and it's great. Meet in a home. For me, in my church context, we actually have and own a church building, and we could host there. There's tables, chairs, we can order food there, have a really easy cleanup. But I just had this personal conviction. I was like, man, we're gonna be doing a team night together. I want there to be a more cozy atmosphere, something just like really comfortable and inviting. And not that our church isn't, it really is those things in a lot of ways. But I just knew, I was like, man, I want to do it in a house. I want people to be together in a living room or outside on a deck. And that's what we did. We met outside on my parents' deck. And I just gotta tell you, it was so special having people come over to my family's house. There was just a level of hospitality in that kind of environment that I just couldn't really match at our church building. So I'm really glad we did that. And so if you can, meet in a home. My wife and I live in a small house where we can fit about maybe 6 people comfortably in our living room. It's just not really conducive to like a 20-person, 25-person event, which our team night is. I invited team members and their spouses with them. So there's like 25 people there for this. We just needed a bigger space to host everybody. So I asked around a little bit and got to my parents, and they let us use their deck, which was amazing because they had this great house, a great driveway to fit all these cars, and a great space outside with a nice view and all this great stuff to allow for our team just to be able to connect with one another. And so if you're like me and you have a small place, maybe you can't host in your home to that kind of extent, you can't fit your whole team there, I encourage you just to reach out to some people in your congregation, maybe a family member, church member. It's kind of interesting, but a lot of people who have more space are actually open to opening up their home for people like you, especially if it's ministry related. I find that people would love to open up their home to you and to the ministry. So reach out, find somebody you can host with, and get people into a home. All right, so there's some maybe tips for you and your next team night. I'm just praying for you that your next team gathering is a real blessing, whether you do it in a home or at your church facility, whether you share something really significant and kind of like vision cast for the next year, or whether it's just a simple connect, whatever it looks like. I'm just praying that your team builds deeper relationships and bonds with one another, deeper trust and connection, and that through that intimacy, that there is a deep well of trust on Sunday mornings as you play music together and lead your church into God's presence. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me in the comments below. I would love to talk with you. Reach out to me on Instagram too. That's a great way to get in touch with me. I'll leave my email down below as well. But if you haven't yet, please like the video if you found it helpful. Subscribe to the channel. We have videos coming out every Monday. I hope these are a blessing to you and your ministry, and have a great Sunday this weekend. God bless you. See you in the next video.